Hello and grand rising, beautiful people. Come on, 6:59. Grand rising, grand rising. Welcome to day 1339 of Wake Up Everybody. Grand rising. I know you can't hear my bowl. Ah, grand rising, everyone. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Grand Rising with uh it's World Autism Awareness Day today. Hop on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, Grand Rising, everyone. Hello, Facebook family. Hello, Wake Up Everybody family. Coming into the Zoom space. Shake it up some more. Shake it up here. Grand Rising. The ancestors are here. The ancestor altar behind me. Hello. I spoke to my plants today. How y'all doing, booze? Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome into the space. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello and welcome. Welcome, everybody, to the Wake Up Everybody. Day 1339. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How y'all doing out there? Somebody holler, give me a holler. You there? How y'all doing out there today? You good?
Everybody's
Grand
asleep.
Rising. Grand Rising, Yogisha.
Hello, that sound like Rukia. Is that you?
That was Chris. Grand Rising, beloved.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. How y'all doing today? Welcome to day 1339 of Wake Up Everybody. Happy Autism Awareness Month. Autism Awareness Month. And today is World Autism Awareness Day, April 2nd. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Zoom. Grand Rising. I'm so happy to be with you all today. Get yourself prepared. Grab some water, a pen and the paper if you want to take any notes for later on. Yes, do that.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Hello, 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 hello. Hello and Grand Rising. How everybody doing out there today? How y'all doing, everybody? Welcome to day 1339. Let me add that up. 1 and 3 is 4, and 3 is 7, and 9 is 16. 1 and 6 is 7. Okay, number 7. Okay, it's a good day. It's a good day. How y'all feeling? I feel amazing. I feel amazing today. Today is Autism Awareness Day, and I'm going to read this slide. This is one of my favorite slides. As you can see up there, April is Autism Awareness Month. Every day is Autism Awareness Day in our home because I have a child that's on the spectrum of autism. Yes, he is. And he is amazing. And his birth name is Josh, but he doesn't like to be called Josh anymore. He has texted the whole family and told everyone in schools, places, everywhere. His name is Raven. He likes to be called Raven now. So when you see him, you're like, Josh, oh, I mean Raven. So yes, he's a number one advocate for himself, and he does not play about himself. So yes, and we can go to the next slide. And today is World Autism Awareness Day. So World Autism Awareness Day, and you may see a lot of things that's reference autism, and it's blue, a lot of blue. And that's because autism was more prevalent in boys and they were diagnosed more frequently than girls were. So there actually is something that's called Light Up Blue. And on World Autism Awareness Day, businesses would show their oneness and their support by lighting up their businesses blue. And there will be blue lights. They would have, even what is that building? Is it the Chrysler building? Which building is it that they would make it blue, like even on so yeah, so that's what
Empire
lighted up
State
blue.
Building.
Yeah, I think that's the building. I'm like, I think yes, the Empire State Building. And so yeah, that's how they show their solidarity. So we are gonna hop on in. We're gonna talk about what autism is and all of that good stuff. So we're gonna bring the slide down and we're just gonna get some movement because if we don't move, then it's not me. I'm a certified holistic wellness practitioner. I teach yoga and amongst many other things with pranic healing and NLP, which is neurolinguistic programming. I'm a practitioner of that also, and a lifestyle coach. And I am an autism advocate. I'm here also for resources, and that's most of some of the things that I do. So let's get started with some breathing. We're just going to bring ourselves into the space because you might have a lot that's going on, even like, oh, autism, I'm not really sure what that is, or I think I might have it, or somebody's in my family. You can have a lot that's going on right now, or how you might feel about this conversation. And any way you are works. Okay, so any way you came into the space, it's all good. Don't judge yourself for what you know, what you don't know. We're not here for that. We keeping the vibes high. So whatever may be going on where you're like, okay, we're just here to release and relax, okay? So you can come to a comfortable seated position. And I'm gonna bring my feet down. So comfortable seated position and have your feet nice and flat on the floor with a nice tall spine. Oh, I'm gonna stretch already. So tall spine, crown is floating up towards the ceiling and your feet are flat on the floor. And let's just all bring our right hand to our heart center. Bring your left hand to your belly. Yeah, feel your beautiful body and your breath. Say thank you. Say thank you to yourself. Take a deep drink in. As you inhale, you feel that air fill up in the belly. The belly presses out to the hand. As you exhale, just sigh it out. You'll feel your navel go back towards your spine. Another deep breath in. Breathing into the belly. Exhale, sigh it out. Feel your navel go back towards the spine. That's right. I want you to imagine inhaling love and compassion Bring it in for you first, all for you first, no one else, all for you. Bring in that love, fill up every pore, every cell, every body part. Exhale anything that doesn't serve you. Sigh it out. Negative thoughts, negative ways of being, intrusive thoughts. Let it go. You don't have to sit with any of that. And just take another little deep breath in, or a big one, as you just sit and think about what your inner weather is. Exhale, sigh that out. What is your weather report? Are you sunny with a chance of clouds, or is it pouring? Tsunami? Volcanic eruption? What's the weather report with yourself? Just check in with you to acknowledge you, where you are, what's going on without judgment. Just take a deep breath in for yourself. And exhale. And as you exhale, see anything negative coming out as great energy. Right into Mother Earth or the ocean. Yes, you're imagining it going into the ocean or down into Mother Earth. Take one more like that. Inhale up. Open up the mouth. Let it go. It's not yours. Somebody needed to hear that. It's not yours. Another deep breath in, all the way from the toes, all the way up to the crown of the head. Open up the mouth, nice and big inside out. Awesome. Release the hands down and take a nice big sweep up. Inhale up. Oh, this feels so good. Interlace your fingers and press your palms up towards the ceiling. Wiggle your sits bones right there in the chair. Inhale over to your left as far as you can comfortably. Feel your side body open up, giving space for fresh chi to enter the body. Come back center. Inhale to the right. Yeah, feel all your left side body opening up. If all that fresh prana coming into those constricted, restricted areas, come back center. Exhale. So good that I hear the garbage men outside. They are collecting the garbage. Ashe, even as we stretch. Go ahead, take it up. The Mother Earth, the ocean, and the garbage men are here to take it all. Awesome. And now we are just going to shake it out. Stand up and shake it out. Stand up, stand up. If you can stand up, you can just shake it out. I'm just going to slide this back a little bit. You know what? Maybe I won't. It just told me don't do it. So I won't do it. Shake it out. Shake it out. Shake, shake, shake your body. Make some noise. Jump around like you in kindergarten. First grade. Whatever grade you chose to jump around. If you didn't, then do it now. Jump around. Jump up, and get down. Make some horsey noises. Inhale up. Exhale, press away. Inhale up. Exhale, press away. Inhale up. One more time. Exhale. Yay. And just shake it out. Awesome sauce. Great, great, great. Yeah, sit down, take a sip of water. We are going to hop in. It's 7:13 and this is a 30-minute session. So we are going to get going. I'm going to drink some water because when we do that movement, it brings heat in the body. It gets the body moving, the blood pumping and flowing. So I'm asked this question while I'm sipping water. Who knows what autism is? Who knows what autism is? Did you know that today was World Autism Day? And who knows what autism is? You can raise your hand. You can type it in the chat. And even if you think you know something, put that in the chat. Don't be scared. This is not a test. This is about awareness. So we're bringing awareness, acceptance. We're bringing awareness to where we are. So if you say, I know that autism starts with the letter A, that's all I know. Well, awesome. That is it, okay? So type it in the chat or you can raise your hand and come off mute for what autism is. Anybody hands raised, anything going on in the chat or Facebook that I need to know, admin?
Right. It looks like Chris has his hand up. So Chris, you can go ahead and share.
Hi, Chris. How art thou?
Hey, good morning, Yogisha.
Good morning. How are you?
Pretty good after the little workout. It was nice. It woke me up and calmed me down. Like you said, I know that autism starts with the letter A.
Holla.
I am here to learn today, so I'm looking forward to what's going to be coming out of this.
Yes, thank you for being here and thank you for being courageous, okay? And saying, listen, I know it starts with the letter A. And what else, girl? What else you going to tell me? So thank you. Thank you so much because you didn't just answer for you. You answered for somebody else who probably was like, oh, I'm glad he did it and not me. Well, I'm sure glad he broke the ice. So that is amazing. Thank you so much. Yes, and before I say what it is, now is there anyone who typed it into the chat or on
Yes.
Facebook?
Looks like we have Queen Ace. She says, special youth that think and process their thoughts differently and have the ability to focus on things that we can't.
What was the first thing? Special who?
Special youth.
Special youth?
Yeah. The young ones.
Yes, yes, and old ones. So
Yes.
everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But I get it. Yes.
And then
Yes,
we've got
thank you.
Joy said autism comprises of conditions like challenges with social skills, repetitive behaviors, speech, and nonverbal communication disorders. Mhm.
Okay, yes, yes.
I think that's all from the chat.
Okay. Now I know I have some oldies up in here. Anybody remember? And no judgment. You might be like, nope, I knew last year and I totally forgot. I would love everybody to know that whenever you're in a space here at Wake Up Everybody where we ascend together, always remember that we are here to learn. And if you forget, so what? Like if you forgot, it's okay. Because you might be like, Stacey be coming on this the fifth year. It's the fifth year. Can y'all believe that? Since 2020, it's 2025. It is the fifth year. And you might still not have a grasp of it. And it's okay, because sometimes I'm like, what's the definition? Like I know what, autism is. And I can explain it many different ways. So I have my notes. And what I will say with even autism. So autism is which is also called autism spectrum disorder. So you might hear ASD. So ASD, autism spectrum disorder. So if somebody said, "Oh, you want a spectrum or something along that line?" They're talking about autism. Okay, so autism is a developmental disorder characterized by difficulties with social interaction and communication and restricted repetitive behavior. So there'll be like those top three things, and it's like, oh, okay, autism is, repetition. It affects you socially. It affects you where you do things differently. So that's basically what it is. But if you're saying what it is, they would say it could be a neurological disorder or it's a developmental disorder. And then it goes into the way that the disorder, where it shows up in your social way of being, in repetition, that sort of thing. So you can bring up the next slide while I'm still speaking. So autism and how it shows up that way. That was so how it shows up, it could be these certain things that come up here that you can see on the slide. I think it says, motor difficulties. So that might be like fine motor. You might hear fine motor skills, like being able to pick up things or use certain fingers. I remember when my son was younger, he would hold the pencil a certain way. Those are all like fine motor skills or challenges or difficulties with that. Sensitive, well, the next one, repetitive behavior. The person might wants to do something over and over. My son is 20 and still to this day, he has to, if we're in the car and he's listening to, like, even it could be a heavy metal song, it could be Earth, Wind, and Fire, whoever he listens to, Michael Jackson, he has certain loops as a certain part of the song he wants to hear. He will tap that space so he could keep hearing just that 10 seconds of that same part. He would do that for 30 minutes. And I'll be driving with my radio and I can hear what I'm doing. And I'm just like, why don't you just create a loop? Like, why don't you create a song that's a loop? Do like, and it's so interesting because I'm being totally honest. And I'll say, why do you keep doing that? Like, I know he has repetitive behaviors. I'm like, why do you keep doing that? Why don't you just, and then and he'll just smile at me or be like, lady, mind your business. Or, like, because that's what I do. And I'm even thinking right now, like, aren't you listening? Like, if I was talking to another mother, I'd be like, well, aren't you listening to your own radio? Why are you worried about him anyway? If he want to keep on sliding it to that certain part of the song, oh, well, leave him alone. So that's a repetitive behavior, doing something over and over. And he still watches the same shows. He loves the same shows over and over. And some people may have that repetition. Some people may have it, like if you see small children, they may have it where they're building something the same. It's the same way, like, and it has to be like the same way. Like it's a blue block if it's Legos, like blue, yellow, green. Oh, I want another one, blue, yellow, green. Blue, yellow, green. It could just be whatever the repetition is, like a repetitive behavior. Social impediments may be from how you are socially, how you interact with others socially. When you come into spaces, there's times that when he was younger that I would guide him, like I would lead him into something because he would just come in speaking and I would be like, people don't know what you're talking about. So like, for instance, he would come inside of the park and start talking to kids, but he's talking in the character voice from like Wow Wow Wubsy, which was a show he used to love to watch. And he'll start talking in scripting. Scripting is something else where it's you are repeating or memorizing scripts. It could be something that you script over and over again. So let's say he memorized the whole 30 minutes of the show and he's coming to her talking about what Wubsy did. And be like, hey, don't you know that Wubsy was on the swing and he fell and bumped his head? And he's laughing and the kids are looking at him like, what is he talking about? So, I would just redirect him because I like to let him have his own business. That was probably like when he was like 8 or something. I'll bring him to the side and be like, they might not know what Wubsy is. So you might sound a little cuckoo to them. So you have to say, one, you have to introduce yourself, be like, I'm Josh. Did y'all ever hear of Wow Wow Wubsy? I like to watch Wow Wow Wubsy. And that's what I'm scripting from that. Like I memorize things and I come out and I say it because I like it. So that's what this give people some background, some context. So socially, the way that he may show up or he may say different things. So that can also fall under communication difficulties or communication difficulties on the spectrum of the autism disorder may be that you are nonverbal. My son didn't speak until he was 3 years old. He did say like mama, dad, or maybe like a few words, but to start speaking three word phrases or sentences. So communication difficulties may be like that. It might be also in that space. So does anybody want any to say anything? And we could go to the next slide while if people have any questions or comments.
Yeah, it looks like we have Chris with his hand up again, and then Kaisha right after him.
Okay, got it. What's up, Chris?
I was today years old. Thank you for that information. I myself, I'm like that. Even now, I've been stuck on like the same song where, since I always wake up like at 3:30 in the morning, I'll listen to it for like 3 hours. Then I'll come do this with y'all. And then like another 4 hours of it just on loop. And then I gotta practice my for 4 to 5 hours.
Then you do what for 4 to 5 hours?
That is mind blowing. The same song, like all those hours. So like in a day collectively, maybe I'll say like 12 to 14 hours on just one song looped, throughout the day. But that's been my whole life. But it's so bizarre that there's somebody else like that out there.
Oh yeah, it's very common actually. So yeah, it's very interesting. And what I'll say is that when my son got diagnosed with autism, in a way that people will get diagnosed with autism, well, he's 20, is that they will have a huge list of all these different behaviors. Now, many people can have these behaviors. However, if you had 6 of the behaviors, that's when they said, okay, well, who are labeled autistic. So he would have different behaviors like motor, like fine motor difficulties. He would one of the characteristics was child acts deaf. Like child acts deaf, like they actually act deaf. Like I would be this close to his ear and be like, Josh, screaming at the top of my lungs, and he wouldn't even blink. But I know he can hear me. But that was one of the characteristics. Child acts deaf, toe walking. So maybe like if they walk like on their toes. He used to do that for a little bit, but not really. Or he used to walk on the knuckles of his toes. Don't even ask me how. I would be like, how is he doing that? Like that looks creepy. And but you get that for sensory. There's sensory input that comes from those different things. And yeah, so there's other different things that may be child doesn't speak, poor eye contact, like not giving you eye contact at all, spinning, which is what some people do, like they just spin. When he was little, he would just spin around. So you might spin around a lot, or you might spin things. People might have a pen, and they're doing this for the day. But when they do this, it's stimming, which is called like stimulation. It gets stimulation from it. So let's say I'm looking from the side of my eye and I'm doing like this. I'm getting some type of stimulation from that. So not me per se, but I'm pretending that I'm that person. They're getting something from it. So stimming is also a different part. So a different characteristic. So there's many different characteristics. So totally. Yeah, but you still can change the slide that I'm
all
speaking.
of that resonates.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, that is, I have some notes to take. I'm complete.
Yes, you're well. And what's interesting, what you said the other day when you were on with Shawnee and you were rocking, and then she was like, oh, I'm rocking. And I was going to type it in the chat and I just left it alone. I was going to say, oh, a lot of children that's on the spectrum rock. So a lot of people like to rock because it's soothing. Or if you will be like, I was leaving the dentist yesterday and there was a little girl inside of a wheelchair. She had special needs, and I could hear her from the other room. And there's a sound that many people who like certain sensory input, it sounds like the letter E. So even if everybody do this right now, who's on the screen or who's watching, E, like do it a deep, you will feel a certain vibration in your body. So E, like if you do that, and some people rock back and forth, like if you are in the special needs classroom or somewhere, somebody might pop up. I'm not going to say guaranteed, but there's a lot of like stimulation. So it might be E in the rock, like E. And it's like, what are they doing? But it's like self-soothing. It can be sensory. It's that input that they're getting from that E. And I don't remember my son saying that until like he just graduated from a private boarding school. And one day he came home doing that. And I was like, since when you do that? I was like, I know other kids do that, but since when you do that? And he's like, it makes me excited. And he's so big and lovable. If you see him, he's like 6'2", and he's like 220 pounds, but he's just like, oh, I get so excited. It feels good. So even though it sounds like weird to me, or other people can be like, what are they doing? What feels good to him? And I know that he learns how to mask certain behaviors, which we'll talk about in a couple of weeks when I come back on about masking behaviors, how people mask behavior. So y'all can take a screenshot of this, and I can speak to Kaisha. But you can take a screenshot of this with possible signs of autism in babies and toddlers. But before we do, I know it's 7:28. And some of you may have to leave because this is the short session. But if you stay, you'll get a prize. At the end, you might be one of the people who get the special gift. And we have a couple of more things just to share. So we'll be on for about another 10 to 15 minutes. So yeah, if you're going to stay and rock out, thank you. And if you have to go, we love you and thank you for being up in here. All right, Kaisha.
All right, good morning. So you said something about the repetition. I spent the day, this is 2 years ago, but I spent the day with my friend whose daughter, she actually has she was born with, it's a genetic disorder, DIRC1A. But my friend Adrian was saying, yeah, they also say that she's on the spectrum. So so we going, I think we was going an hour away. We was driving, and her daughter Emily, she started repeating herself, "I'm hungry," And she would say, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. In her little 8-year-old voice, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And so Adrian was trying to, change her mind. And so I asked Adrian, I said, how do you know that she's not hungry? And she says, because she just ate and she doesn't eat all her food. She just gets, like you said, obsessive. It's obsessive. That's it. That's the word. She said she gets obsessive. And if I was to give her something to eat, she won't eat it. So she was telling me what the therapists tell her, occupational therapy. They said, well, try to redirect her, try to change her mind, try to give her something. But it just was, well, I think because we was in a car. And just really, so now every time, especially if I'm with Adrian, every time I'm hungry, I'll repeat it because it was, to me, I think it was so cute. It might have been annoying to her. But to me, I was like, I'm hungry. And I was like, I feel like Emily, but I'm hungry. I'm hungry, And so this weekend, Adrian and I spent the day together. Adrian's navigating the school system, public school system. And her challenge is now Emily's in 3rd grade. And she's like, I don't understand why the schools are trying to teach her 3rd grade math. And she has the developmental. She's like, I think she's up to age 5 now. And so she was just talking about her frustrations with the school system, how they still have her in what she calls traditional classrooms.
What state is this?
Colorado.
And what's the little girl name? Is her name Emily?
Yes.
Does Emily have an IEP? Do you know? Yes. Does she have an IEP?
She does. Yes. Adrian is on it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, she has an IEP. I think the schools still have to follow the state standards. And from what she was explaining to me, she said it makes no sense to me, but they they're patient, they work with her, and they understand that. She's like, she may never get fractions. She's like, I think she's starting to learn her letters now, and she's 9.
So
age 9.
So this is something that's really important, and I'm glad that you even brought that up. And everyone that's out there, when I said an IEP, and anybody take a screenshot of this? You could take a screenshot of this. Since I'm not going to go through all of that. I'm sorry. Wait, hold on one second, Kaisha. Stay right there. While you guys can see possible signs of autism in babies and toddlers, and like certain things that may come up. Or you know what? We can leave it there, or we could just I'll just leave it up. Yeah, I'll just leave it right there. So an IEP is an individualized education plan. So when someone is on a spectrum, or if they have special needs, you are and you get your child evaluated. That's one of the first things that you do. You get the child evaluated so that they can have an IEP, so they get individualized. So they are given one specifically to what your child needs, what their goals are, what is it that they are going to have in their plan. And if their IEP says something, that's how you have to make sure they're following the IEP, or if the IEP is accurate. Like the IEP, let's say one goal says, learning how to speak in a full sentence, or understanding 3 word phrases. We'll do this 3 out of 5 times, or do this by this week, or whatever. It's very detailed. So I would say that the mom should check out the IEP and make sure that it is what her child needs. And if that IEP, if the school is not going towards what the IEP is, then it's time for her to speak up. One, to speak up to them and say, hey, you're not following what's on her IEP. She's not getting anything. Or even if she didn't come up there with the IEP, somebody like me as a parent is like, listen, my child does not know any of this stuff that you're teaching. So what are y'all going to do about it? Because there is a thing in New York State that's called FATE, right? So that's is it fair? Why I always forget what the F? Free appropriate education. So if you cannot teach my child, you have to pay for my child to learn. So this is times that even for her back pocket, it's a time for her to start looking around for educational lawyers. Because if in fact they do not, if they don't say how they can support her or move her to a class, then that's for the mom to do. Or what the mom needs to do is make a list of the schools that will supply support. Tell her to go to Chat GPT and pull up top schools that support autistic children, special needs children, and also what her other challenge or diagnosis is. Put that in my area so that those can come up and she can call those schools and say, hey, my daughter is on this level. She's 8, but she's not reading yet, or she's on the, or she is at a 3-year-old level, whatever it is, so that she can speak, because you have to advocate. You have to be your first advocate, speaking out and saying those things. And if they don't do it, then yeah, that's when you call your educational lawyer. So that I didn't get an educational lawyer till my son graduated public school 8th grade. However, and that's what we'll talk about in the next session, like as far as with schooling and everything. However, when you see that the school is not doing their job, it's supposed to be free. My child is supposed to have a free, appropriate education. If he's being sent out of classes like he was, and they was like, oh, well, okay, you had an outburst, you got to go back to your homeroom. So now he's not learning for the day because he had an outburst. Y'all better get a teacher in here who know how to deal with somebody who has an outburst or who learns different. And if it's not, then you got to pay. So that's where he did for high school. And that's where I had my lawyer. And then I chose the school that I desire. And it's something that's called Connors funding, which is when you sue the Department of Education and they have to pay for your child's private school wherever they're going to school. So that's another part. So yeah, definitely with the IEP and her repetition with her saying, I'm hungry. It's interesting. It could have been like, well, I'm gonna just keep saying it till I get something to eat. Because her thing might be that she just wants something. So even I would say, I would just have snacks. I love snacks. I always have snacks in my car, even if it's like, okay, I'm hungry. Okay, there go a carrot stick. You hungry? Eat that. She got something in here. There go a plum. There go an apple. You hungry? Bite it. Isn't that gonna hurt? Some fruit. So that this way she'll probably just be like, okay, she either gets soothed or whatever that could be. But it could be repetition. One of the things I didn't say that can be characteristic of autism is echolalia. So, but you didn't say that her mom said that. She said, I'm hungry. Because echolalia is a part of autism that children will do when they don't have their own language. So they don't formulate their own language yet. So they just keep repeating what you say. And sometimes they may have their own language in, but they're not sure how to express it yet. So that can also be something that shows up. So when my son was about 3 or before, I think about 3, before he did speak. I'm not saying that he was mute. So he would repeat me. So if I say, hey, Josh, how you doing today? He'll say, hey, Josh, how you doing today? And I'll say, you want to eat? He'll say, you want to eat? Are you hungry? Are you hungry? Verbatim, whatever I said. Would you like some water? And he'll smile and just be talking. Would you like some water? And the way that, and I was like, okay, is he going to just keep repeating everything I say? So what I started to do with him is if I say, Josh, you hungry? He say, Josh, you hungry? I'll say, no, are you hungry? And he would still do that. No, are you hungry? Right? And I'll say, I'll hold his hands and I'll say, okay, don't say anything right now. And he was about to say, don't say it. I'll just, don't say nothing right now. Just listen to mommy. Listen to mommy. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Are you hungry? Do you want to eat? And if you want to eat, say, yes, mom, I want to eat. So if I say, are you hungry? You say, yes, I'm hungry. Are you hungry? So it got to a time where he might have still said it, or when he stopped and just nod, yes, or he used to sign because he didn't use that many words, or he was sign. And that's also a very important part that I didn't mention, which is early intervention. So early intervention is very important. My child was diagnosed at 21 months when his doctor, pediatrician, asked me, is he speaking more than 6 words? Is he pointing? So there's different signs. There's different things that you may see. And that slide that was up, you can actually see it in that slide. So yeah, and this is something that's interesting that I jotted down. Like some common signs of autism. We spoke about interaction and all those different things. One was unusual reactions to sensory stimuli. Like my son would actually just cut the tags out of his shirt by himself. Like I'm not even waiting for her, I'm cutting. So you know how many times I would see him walk past me with a hole in his shirt, and I'm like, why you got a hole in your shirt? And even the side of the shirt, you know, that had the fabric content, it'll be a hole there and a hole at the top. And he'll be like, oh, it was bothering me, I cut it off. And I'm like, yeah, but you cut a hole in the shirt. Hello. Like you could have come to me so I can help you cut it out or show you how to cut it out. So of course, everything he wears is tagless. It's tagless. He don't need, when he tries stuff on in the store, he'll try to pop the tag off. And I'm like, you can't take the tag off. Like they need to scan that. Just don't touch it. So that's something that's interesting is unusual reactions to sensory stimuli, and something that I learned yesterday, and this is why I said you learn something new every day. My son is 20, and I didn't even see this till yesterday. One of the common signs said indifference to temperature extremes. I said, you got to be kidding me. Indifference to temperature extremes. And I meant to tell him this last night. And I was like, well, this makes a lot of sense. I don't care what the weather is. It could be below 20 degrees. My son has a fan on his room. He has his windows wide open. When he came down to take the snow off my car, I was like, oh, you can take the snow off my car before I come down when it was snowing. He had on a hoodie. I don't know what the weather, it was like 17 degrees, or I don't know what the degrees was. He didn't have on any gloves. And I was like, now you know it's cold. You could have came down. He's like, yeah, but it's all good. So he is like, and it's so interesting that still after all these years, I'll say, Josh, why don't you put on a hoodie, a jacket or something? And he'll shake his head. Even the other day, he shook his head. He said, when will you people get it? Like, when will you understand that that doesn't faze me? It does not affect me. He's like, don't you know that I'm hot-blooded? That's who I'm just like, that's who I am. I was like, you know what? That's right. That's your superpower. So yeah. Is there any questions or any comments out there? I know that I've been talking and I could talk about autism all day, about different things, but I want to hear from the community. Like, do you have any family members on the spectrum of autism? You can type that in the chat.
Yeah, so in the chat, Zakia said earlier, my granddaughter is very highly functioning on the spectrum. Chris went ahead and dropped the YouTube link of that song that he mentioned he listened to. He even said that he now knows how to play it on the viola. Michelle said, happy Autism Day. This is a much needed conversation. Thank you, Sister Yogisha.
Yeah.
And then Laura earlier had said that she had learned from you, Yogisha, that autism is a neurodiversity condition with variations in brain and cognitive functioning. Michelle just said, one of my grandchildren is on the spectrum. He is nonverbal at this point. That is it from the chat.
And she said her grandson is on the spectrum, nonverbal. What'd you say after that?
Nonverbal at this point.
Yeah. Okay. Is so is there okay, goody. So that answered that question. If people have any family members on ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder. And my next question for people are, do you spread awareness and acceptance? Do you spread awareness and acceptance for autism? And if so, how? And you can be honest. This is a space, like I said, you can say, nope, I don't. I'm just figuring this out or learning more today. Nope. Or yes. And if yes, how? How do you spread awareness and acceptance for autism? Or how do you show your acceptance for autism? So you can type that in the chat, or if there's anybody who wants to come off mute for that, then you can totally do that, please. And if there's anything that's in the chat, and then I'm just going to have like a little challenge for us to, when we wrap up, which it's going to be in a few minutes. And thank y'all for rocking with me. Us is 7:44, and we are, coming to our close. So you can put that in the chat. Type that in the chat, everybody. Do you spread awareness and acceptance for autism? Do you even understand the question? If you don't, you can ask me. Ask me if you don't understand. I'm here. But do you spread awareness? like April is Autism Awareness Month, and that's what I'm going to challenge people to do. So is there anybody who answered the question?
Chris said, will do now. And
Okay.
Kendra said yes. Kendra, are you able to come off mute and maybe explain?
Yes, Kendra. I wonder if that's my sister.
Yes, it's your sister.
Hello, welcome. How you doing, boo?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. So what? Yes.
Oh, sorry. So I spread awareness by letting people know about the things that you taught me. That autism is an umbrella term, and that there are different levels. There are different triggers, like you mentioned, sensitivity. Um, I don't know. I guess like stimming. There are, yeah. I'm not the best at explaining this, but I just let people know about all of the possibilities and things that are possible with conditioning and with hard work. Like how Josh takes the train to Jersey and he comes to my house every weekend and he orders his own food, and it's just amazing to see where he's come from when he, you know, used to not even speak to me when we were younger. And I was just like, does he just not like me? But just to see him grow from not speaking. But yeah, basically that autism, there are different levels, and that they're just as capable as any other children, if not even more, indigo and rainbow children. So I think that's awesome. And happy World Autism Day. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Let's take a breath with Kendra. And we didn't take a breath with Kaisha, and then whoever spoke before. We can take a breath with Kaisha and with Chris. So that's so interesting, Kendra, that you even said that. You said that he didn't speak to, and it's so funny because I don't, remember until people say things. You say he didn't speak to you when you, like, what age was that he was?
I think like 2, 3.
Okay, yeah, because you was how old when he was 3?
I don't know.
11? Like he
9
was born
or 12,
2004.
12, I think.
Yeah. So she was 12, his auntie, and he was 2, and that's because he didn't have language. So and it's so interesting because if people have that in their home and they see kids and they're like, oh my goodness, does he not like me? Because one of the other things about autism is many parents and family members say, my child is not affectionate. Oh my goodness, they don't hug me. I just want to hug and squeeze them and they don't want me to touch them. And a lot of children are like that. Like, please don't touch me. Like I don't want anybody on me. And it's hard for some parents to not take that personally. So for me, it has always been the opposite because he's such a big huggy bear. So even I guess maybe at that age he wasn't speaking to her. I don't know, was he hugging you? Did he hug you or did he interact with you, Kendra? Like did he
Yeah,
hug you?
we played and like parallel played. Yeah, I know that he loved me, but wasn't speaking to me directly. Like he touched my eyes and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that's also parallel play is something that you will see in children with autism. So because they are affected socially, where the social behavior is like, oh, we're not really interacting with someone, it will look like to the untrained eye, but he's right there. He's playing with Johnny and Keith. Like, look at all of them. They're all playing with cars. Now, if you look very closely, they might be dragging their cars around, like bumping into each other, looking at each other, eye contact. Those are the kids who are playing with each other. Like, oh, your car and my car. My son would be on the side with his own car going down his own road. Like, I'm playing with the car, but I'm not playing with y'all. So that's called parallel play. I'm playing alongside of you, but I'm not playing with you. There's a difference. So it's like looking at all those little nuances and those different things, and you'll say, oh my goodness, I didn't even see that. But I was very keen on that because, and this is when we lived in California. And I still remember we were inside of an office. I always bring up this story. We were inside of an office and I was waiting for them to call my name. And I was like, oh, goodness. So I saw a little boy run. And then I saw Josh run behind him. Josh was 4 at this time. And then I saw the little boy tap him and he ran behind him. And I was like, wait a second. Is he playing tag? Like, wait 1 darn minute. Like, I had to stop. And I don't know if I started crying or probably cried on the inside or probably cried later. The joy, because I was like, he is playing with somebody. And that's at 4 years old. Like, he's playing with them. He's not playing aside, like parallel plays, playing with them. And that's such a big deal. I was like, oh my God, thank you, God. Like, he's coming along, because every little win, you are so excited as a parent. A present parent is so excited to be like, oh my goodness, that's a win. So that was a big win that day, that he played with the person. That means that he interacted with them, that he was socially available and aware. So yes, yes, yes. And I see Michelle hand up, admin, where you want to take us, or if there's anything in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, so we have Zakia, who had said she doesn't actively promote awareness. However, she does look for opportunities to make people aware of possibilities, especially if there's a situation where someone is being misunderstood. And then she had said her granddaughter is very affectionate in general. And then she has moments where she wants no parts of anybody.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's it
I
from
totally
the
get that, Z. I get that, Z. And at this age, still, my son will go in his own room. Like, he loves everybody. Let's say we're having a family function, or he invited his own friends over. He'll probably stay with them for like 5 minutes and he'll leave. Like, he'll leave and go to his room. And then I'm talking to the friends and I'm like, wait a second. Dude, I didn't invite these people here. Like, you invited your friend here. So what's some things you want to speak about? Like, one of his friends, who he's close to, Zion, came over the other day, and he came from doing his road test. And Zion's in college, finishing up college. And I was like, you have Zion here that you've been fiending to come here, and you in the room, even though we were having our own conversation in the kitchen. And I said, he just came from his road test and you practicing for your permit. So don't you want to ask him questions and be social? Hello. And I'll shake him and he'll go, yeah, yeah, that's right. So I was so full of joy. Like, Zion went in his room and I was on the Zoom call and I got to hear them talking about, he was asking him so many questions about the road, and some signs and how he could pass his test. So I was very excited, because sometimes you still need a push. I don't care how old you are. His default is to be like, click up, I'm here. He could be by himself for hours. If I left him in there, he just ate, he'll come out for a hug, because he loves to hug. He might come out for a hug and be like, all right, I'm out of here, and go back to eat and do something. So that's why a lot of schools, they are so particular of having events, things to do for children, so that they can be more social, and where they don't have phones, like at camp or certain boarding schools. His school gave him 2 hours a day on their phone, because they're promoting you to be social. So yes, Michelle, you can go ahead.
Good morning, Woo family. Happy to be here. Thank you, Sister Yogisha, for this really important conversation. So my grandson is 4, and when he was born during COVID, and he was without oxygen for several minutes. And the neurologist, they said he has brain damage. That's what they say to us. That's what they said to the parents. Anywho, but I noticed first signs, like even now he doesn't make eye contact. Like he's here with me. I had him last night. He's up from Carolina, and you might, like, for a second make eye contact, but he will always turn away. You cannot look at him in the eye, and that's one of the first things I noticed when he was a baby. He's nonverbal, and he does make those sounds, or he'll clap his hands if he's excited about watching TV or something. He'll show, but other than that, he really doesn't have emotional features or expressions. He'll cry if his mom is leaving or my son is leaving. He'll cry. He'll express that. He will let you, if you say you want to eat, he will, come to eat. But as you were saying, he could be, 2 feet away, and I'm calling him, And I had his parents have his ears checked. I'm like, well, does he have hearing impairment? Because I will call him, he's right there, and he will not come here. But he does. His ears are fine. He does hear. But my concern, and I don't know if you know anything about it, they feed him a lot of fast food, McDonald's and stuff. I have a problem with that, but I know it's convenient and all of that. He doesn't live with me. And they allow him to watch television and be on the iPad and such and all. Of course, his, even children, they're my other grandchildren, I think they have too much screen time as well. And I'm wondering if there's any information about, is that hazardous, all this screen time for, young brains in general.
How old is
He's
how old is he?
4. He turned 4 in February.
And you
And is there
mentioned something.
a
You
specific
mentioned something
diet maybe
about.
the children should have?
Well, that is something also to speak on. What I wanted to ask you is, you said something about him not having oxygen for some time. What did the
For
doctor say?
cement, ischemic. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. I can never pronounce
Also, there
the.
like a something that he has, like a diagnosis that he has because of that.
Yes,
Okay,
and
and are
I
they
always
saying that?
have to look at it on a piece of paper before I can actually
Okay,
say the words.
yeah, no worries. And they also said that
Um,
he has autism also.
well, they did. That's it. They didn't say he has autism. They never said that because I questioned, well, is he on the spectrum? Does he have autism? Um, and he does have an IEP because he started school. But all the things you mentioned, he has those things. So he used to grind his teeth. He used to,
Mhm.
walk back and forth, walk back and forth, walk back and forth like that. He was developmentally delayed because he would scoot on his butt. He wouldn't walk when most children were walking.
Yeah.
But now he's walking, so he gets therapy.
So it's interesting
Um,
because these could also be characteristics and symptoms of whatever his other diagnosis is, and
mm,
it doesn't. So it's important to look at what the characteristics are from that diagnosis, because those very well may be some of the characteristics,
the
or even
same, yeah.
asking his parents, "Oh, do you ever have him evaluated for autism? Maybe we should also have him evaluated, look into that, so that this way he can start to get assistance for that now while it's early. Early intervention is the best intervention, because
Mm,
there's some people who find out when they're 15, 12, 20, and the parents already had an inkling, an idea, and they had
right.
this thought already, and they didn't act upon it until 10 years later. So
And
if
it's one
you
thing and not the
out
other
there
thing.
are one of those, yeah. So if
Well,
anybody
thank you.
out there is that parent or family member, don't feel bad. Like, don't make it about you. I always tell the family members, don't make it about you. Like, oh my God, I did this thing, or there's something that I didn't do, and this is why my child is on the spectrum. Release yourself. You're not that important right now. Let it go. Take a deep breath and say, okay, even though I feel like that, let me go and get my child evaluated, because there's a plethora of things that can really help them with early intervention while we're figuring it out.
Mm,
So that's a beautiful thing. I think that evaluation is one of the first steps. Something that you said about eye contact, that still can be with people till this day. Like, sometimes my son looks at me and he's talking to somebody else, and I'm like, why are you looking at me? They over there. Talk to them. Like,
right,
talk.
right. Yeah, yeah.
But he is very social and has a lot of eye contact, and he's a very social person because he goes and waves to people he don't know he's always talking to, and I'm just like, okay, let me mind my business. Because before, I kept telling him, why are you talking to them? Like, you don't know them. They don't even want to talk. They're not even talking to you. He said, but they smiled at me. I said, you know what? And God knocked me on the head, was like, mind your business. You are not
Right,
him. And I
right.
was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
right. Let me not formulate and put my judgments over on him. Who he is big love, and let him speak. If they don't speak to him, let him figure it out if he still want to keep speaking or not. But you
Right,
know,
right.
but God in those things. But what you said about like emotions, there's another characteristic could be that they may be not able to tell. So if somebody else may be sad, and I've saw my son do that. Somebody could be sad and he's laughing, and that could be like from younger to now. And I'm like, and he'll be like, oh, I don't mean to laugh. Like, I'm not laughing at that. And I'm like, you are. And then he'll be like, no, but I'm not. And it's certain things that it's like, the emotions if they line up with the situation that's actually happening. Because empathy can also be something that's missing. Like, oh, I don't really like, I think it's funny. And people like, but he just got hit by a bike. Like, why even though there's people who are not on the spectrum who might be laughing also instead of being like, they'll be all right. But there's certain emotions that are off and it's not in alignment how we see the alignment, but that's may be how it shows up for them. You spoke about diet. Diet plays a big part, and there's so many things that now as he's older that I've been like, oh, don't eat this, or this is what. So if he went shopping yesterday to the supermarket, and we have a Yuka app, the Yuka app, YUKA, you get to scan food and cosmetics, and they'll tell you if it's a bad store, ingredients. And he was like, oh, but I want to get this ice cream and this garlic toast, this Texas toast, because he loved Texas toast. And I said, did you scan it? I said, I know it's a bad score. I bet it is. I said, you can get whatever you want to get if they got a good score. And he was like, oh, so he calls it either hero, which means it's green, it's in the green hero, or he calls it sidekick if it's red. He makes up his own thing.
Yeah.
He'll pick up things and he'll be like, oh boy, this is a sidekick. I can't get this. And he'll be like, hero, I can get this juice. It's at a 70. So it's like, learning for yourself, like what those things are to eat. But a lot of children have gut issues, and it depends. Like when he was younger, I had him on a gluten-free, casein-free diet because I wanted to try it to see if it was going to make a difference for him. And it did. And then I saw a difference when I bought the gluten and the casein, which means dairy products. So when he was about 4, we lived in California, I did have him on that because there was a man that I watched on a video, and he was like, if you don't do this for your child who have autism, you suck. He didn't say you suck, but basically he's saying you suck as a parent if you don't at least try this. I was watching all these videos. It was like 3 a.m. I was like, okay, great. That means that I'm going to put him on his casein-free, gluten-free diet. So we only shop at Trader Joe's. And that's the first time I heard of Trader Joe's was when I lived in California. And this was like early 2000. So I was just like mid 2000. It's like 2008. And I was like, okay. So I guess we only go in here. So I would have him rice bread, rice milk. I took his lunch to school, and it was like, what is she giving this child? I was like, do not give my child any cow's milk. This is what he's having, because I was on a strict research. Like I was doing all of that. I would have to like dive in front of him to take hot dog buns because I was like, oh, that got something in it that you're not supposed to have. Milk and eggs. Like this is what we bought. So people would feel bad for him at a party. Like, his mama ain't gonna let him eat none of this cake. And I'll be like, but what I also see and learned is that it's us. The parents are the ones who have a hard time. When the child is smaller, they will confine. Because he was eating that rice toast and those other things. I mean, those things that I gave him. It was my discipline, which means I had to now put more time into my day to pack lunch for school, to go to parties and pack food for that. Like it was something of responsibility for myself. So I will tell all the parents and encourage them to stop. And this mindfulness too is a mindset to stop and breathe and give yourself lots of love and compassion that this is something new that you're doing. Even if your child is 15, 24, you can always start. Don't say, well, they already 20 years old now. Yeah, my son used to eat McDonald's. I told him, do not eat McDonald's. I haven't bought him McDonald's. I don't know who else bought McDonald's. I won't say no names. Let me stop. But like even with I tell him no McDonald's, but I know that he still goes to Burger King. He still likes burgers. I'm vegan. And he like, I'm not vegan. I know that he's not vegan, but I always say, hey, eat, so that's going to be healthier for you. So I'll slip things and I'll make him say, I'll say, well, you're going to have this sea moss. And I'll give him sea moss gummies. Or I'll put chlorella in his water. And he knows that it's green. And he'll be like, I'm like, hey, it's just superpower. Like it's ways that you have to speak to your children and get them on the boat of health and wellness, even though it's not going to come overnight, but we can start to remove little things here and there. And it'll officially, eventually click. And maybe it won't with them, but remember that they still have their own life. But you're talking about somebody that's sport, and so the parents definitely could. And you'll get my information so you can give it to the mama after, or you take it. And yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. And thank you for everyone else, and Chris and everyone who shared. I appreciate your shares.
Yes, thank you. Thank y'all so much. We are at the 8:04, and I know y'all like, this ain't no 90-minute session, Stacy. So let's take a breath with Michelle. So that is so good. Thank everybody. And I see that y'all did put in the chat. I don't know if there's anything else that's new in the chat about autism awareness or the acceptance and how you will spread it. So this is the challenge that I want to speak of. Let me see something. Okay, so I know that we had other slides. I don't even know if it makes sense because we talked about them all. The next one that was just going to come up was, I think, was it just the last purple one that was left? You don't have to put up. You can just tell me, was it the last purple one? Or
It
was
was the levels of autism and then the purple one.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so we already well, we didn't speak about the levels, and the levels could you can just pull it up there while I tell them about this challenge so that we are doing two things at once. Oh, that's the level. Okay, so and you can screenshot this, everybody. And take breaths with yourself, everybody. Take a deep breath, and you're learning a lot of information. You're getting a lot of information, and you may start thinking, oh my goodness, I know somebody like this. It might be your own child, and your child might be 35 right now. Or like, I just invite everyone right now to just have love for yourself. Breathe with yourself, have compassion for yourself, and know that it's not ever too late. And you can say, well, okay, let me go look up some characteristics for this for adults like now, or just looking up how adults who are dealing with just finding out that they have an autistic diagnosis, how can I support them? Chat GPT is your friend. Chat GPT, they have a free version. Chat GPT. Okay, look it up. It could be, it's like it could be your best friend to find information. So these are the three functional levels of autism, and I will dare to say that there's blurred lines between them because your child can be between it. I did say that autism is a spectrum. On one end you have mild, the middle could be moderate, the other side could be severe. So the ones that's come up now says ASD1, requiring support, difficulty initiating social interactions, like my son with the wow wow wubsy at the park, or just talking to people and not having any context for things. Organization and planning problems can what word does that say? Hamper independence. So that's called executive functioning. Organization, that's the part of your brain that takes care of organization and planning. So my son do have challenges with executive functioning and gets some coaching when he was in school, and we're going to continue coaching, executive functioning coaching, because it helps you to organize, to plan. His part of his brain is where he have challenges there, and I have to remember that and tell people that whoever's being with him or work with him, his brain is not like your brain. So as much as he may still, he can learn so much and he's doing so much. And I'm so grateful and blessed that he's doing so many things. Like my sister said, like he can hop on the train and do all these different things. Thank you, Queen A, for being here. And it's just like, yeah, so that could be like one that's requiring support. Number two is social interactions, limited to narrow special interests. Like they might be only interested in space. Before it was everything for outer space for my son. So they might have something that they're really good at, but they know that one thing. Frequent, restricted, and repetitive behaviors, like very frequent behaviors. It can be stimming. It can be repetitive behaviors, like that they have to walk in a circle or go and touch something the same time every day. Repetitive behaviors. So that's what that said is required more substantial support. And then three is requiring very substantial support. Severe deficits in verbal and nonverbal social communication skills. Great distress or difficulty changing actions or focus. And you can go to the next slide. Changing actions or focus, because yeah, it makes such a big difference. Like when you change in those actions, the focus. So even right now, my son, I don't tell him I'm doing something unless I'm really going to do it. So sometimes he'll say to me, "You promise?" And I'll say, "Nope, I don't make promises," because he will have your head. And he is very good with something that may affect people is short-term working memory is something that my son has a challenge with. And he always tells me now, he'll go, "For now." And I love that because he's speaking life for himself. I'll say, well, you know, you have short-term working memory. Tell them that when you go to an interview or something. He's like, for now, which means that he's like, listen, I'm about to kick that short-term working memory. And there's things that he can do to build that up. So short-term working memory means that I just gave you 3 things to do. Okay, Josh, can you go boil some water, run me a bath, and then go do your chart for the day? And he might be like, all right. And he might go and do his chart and put the water on to boil, but didn't run the bath. And then he'll come back, and it'll be 15 minutes later, and I'll go, oh, did you run it back? And he'll be like, oh, dang it, I forgot that. And then he'll run back and then go do it. Or he might come to me within those 2 minutes and say, what you said again? But his long-term working memory is exquisite. He will tell me something that happened in 2015. He'll be like, remember November 9th in 2015, you told me this at 3:30? And I'm like, no, I don't remember that. So it's amazing. Brains are such an amazing thing. Yeah. So this slide says understanding and acceptance help raise autism awareness. So my challenge for everybody is that, and you can type one thing below in the chat that you found out about autism today. So everybody type something in that you found out today that could have been brand new. Something new that you didn't know about autism. Type it in the chat. And the challenges that I'm having for people is post it on your social media and tag me at Yogisha1. My Instagram is at YOGISHA1, and they'll come up later on. You can take down the slide and I'll finish talking. So thank y'all so much for being here. I'm wrapping this up, but yeah, so post it on your social media, like something that you learned today, and you like hashtag autism awareness month, tag me at YOGISHA1 so I can see it and I can make like a story about everybody's post. That would be so cool, and post it and I can repost it. So I would love to do that so we can continue the awareness. So give yourselves a big hand and a big hug for being here. I love y'all so much. Thanks for rocking with me, because I know that it's 8:11 and this was a 7 to 7:30 session, but that means I have to talk about 2 things if I'm just gonna come on for 30 minutes, which is just like, do you know what autism is? And by that time, they'll be done. But thank y'all so much. And let's just take a nice deep breath with each other. As we close out and shake out. I gotta actually shake because I've been sitting down, and whoever else been sitting down. Thank y'all so much. Anything in the chat that I need to know, admin team or Facebook, before we go, before I pull up the special offer?
Yes, Joy said it was a very informative section. I learned today that the temperature indifference. Thank you, Stacy. Michelle said the importance of advocating and that there's educational lawyers out there. I personally said that I didn't realize it was more prevalent in boys, and that's why the color is blue. Chris said that put a little smiley face and beyond the letter A for what he learned.
Yay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I have a special offer. And we can bring up the special offer. So my special offer to the community today. Now, this is a flyer for my body party. So I want everybody to know that body is an acronym. So you can screenshot this. And if you zoom up, you can see that, there's like us in a class with meditation, releasing, because we like to dance afterwards when we have our refreshments. Love you, sister. I see my other sisters here. Thank you. I received that. Yes, and it's like the body party is BOHDI, bringing ourselves healing daily intentionally. So it's intentional about our healing. I have these once a month. It's going to start coming up probably more. I do them mostly on Saturdays. Sometimes it might be a different evening. It's in the evening. So the body party is where you come, and what we do is we do some movement and some yoga. There's not anything is gentle yoga, I would say. It's not anything hard. And we work with whoever's in the space, but I always show you a different way that you can do a different pose. So we do some yoga, and what we do is a meditation. I lead a guided meditation. I'm a pranic healer also, and have other healing modalities. So I do take a pain inventory in the beginning, like stress inventory, and see where people are on the scale of 1 through 10. I go through your body, your chakras. Now, I'm not physically going into your body, but I'm energetically, wherever you may be having pain or blockages, we release anything that doesn't serve our bodies, trauma that's embedded in the different aura and chakras that's not functioning properly. So I do that while you're relaxed on your yoga mat. And I have some beautiful sounds and music in the back. We have candles, and it's like a whole vibe. And as you give it to me, I'm the one who's cleansing and clearing out while you're relaxing. And then afterwards, we just shake it out. We have our movement, and then we just convene as a community. But during that time is when you're getting your healing. It's really something to take on for yourself, like as a healing. So we could go to the next slide. So that's what that is at the body party. It's a beautiful space, and it's for everyone. I don't have children there yet, so it's adults. It's for adults. So the special offer for today is 1 complimentary admission to this month body party on April 26th. It's going to be at 6 p.m. It's in Brooklyn at a space that will be given to you when you register, or like if you got it, and they'll put it in the chat also for where you can purchase your ticket. If you want to come and you didn't win, you're like, oh, I didn't win, but I can click on the link and go buy my ticket. Like people have already started doing so. Great. I'm looking forward to seeing y'all there. And space is limited. So that's why we say get your tickets in advance. So whoever number 5 is, and number 5 is change. I love the number 5. The number 7 keep popping up too. So let me see. So I'm gonna just rock with 5 and 7. So Chantel or one of our admins will let you know who number 5 is. They'll count number 5 and number 7 and see if you want to come to the body party. That'll be complimentary. And then any parent or caretaker of a child who's on the spectrum with autism gets free admission to the body party. So if it's 4 of y'all out there, or 5, or you know someone, like Michelle knows her daughter, or she's a caretaker, she can say, okay, I'm gonna email you, Yogisha, so that this way I can get my complimentary admission. You have to email me. And I say email today, I'll give you till the end of, what is today? Just do it today, okay? I'll give you by the end of the week, but do it today. Do it now. YogishaStacy@gmail.com. So you want to email today to claim your complimentary admission. And share it. If you know a parent, you're like, you know what, they can use the body party. Let me send it to them. They send me an email and they tell me who they are in relation to their child or whatever that is. We can go to the next slide. I saw Adam say something. What did Adam say?
Body hottie, we like to party.
I know if you was in New York, I know you come to the body party, Adam. I know you will be there.
Did y'all see who I put in the chat for the winners?
Yeah.
Who are the winners? Say it out loud.
Laura and Michelle. Laura and Michelle.
Oh my goodness. Look at that. Michelle, you a win. Is Michelle, or she in and it must be meant for Laura to be there.
Yay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and I put in the chat I was meant to be here today. Look at that.
Yes. Hallelujah. Yes, you was meant to be here.
So
divine
good.
time. Awesome. So I'll take the yay that Michelle accepts. So Michelle, you would email me right there so you can screenshot it. I know you will. If you know how to screenshot.
Yes.
I can't just assume.
Yes, yes, I do.
And it's also in the chat.
Thank you.
It's in the chat. YogishaStacy@gmail. Like, it's me, Michelle, and ask Laura if she accept.
I accept. Thank you so much. But I'd like to gift it to Chris or someone else. I'm always winning. And I'd love to gift it to Chris, if he'll accept.
Well, look at that. She want to gift it to Chris.
Thank you.
Now, Chris, are you able to? Are you able to come?
This is where?
This is in Brooklyn. It's off of Nostrand Avenue.
Oh, 1000%. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, Chris, email me. See the love? This is the woo. This is how we spread the love. So, Laura will.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome, Chris.
Yes.
But I'll be there. I will be there.
Awesome. Awesome sauce. I love it. I love it. I love it. Look at that. You see the love?
Yeah, I see it.
Chris, I'm looking forward to seeing Chris. See, Chris, you can spread the love to another friend. Tell them and they can click on the link. So, yes, this is my contact information. You can reach me at 347-946-1850. Facebook is Yogisha. Instagram is at Yogisha1. Email and website is YogishaStacy@gmail.com. No E in my name. Or www.yogisha.net. Yes, next slide. Thank y'all so much for being here. I love y'all.
Yeah.
And love offerings and donations, monthly automated love offerings. So we always say you can give and give the way that you've received. Even if you say, well, you know what, this is how much I have, or I don't have $25 for the month. When you see the next slide, it will give you what the Zelle is. Even if you have $5 and say, I'm going to give $5, it's in giving that we receive. I really believe that. So these are different links where you can hop on and do $25 a month, $50 a month, 75 or 100. And I say set it and forget it. And I just say set it and forget it, meaning that you don't have to worry about doing it like every month. So $25 a month, you are welcome, Laura. And then you just go to https://bit.ly/rule of 25, and you will put in the same, but just different at the end. Rule of 50, rule of 75, or rule of 100. Screenshot that. Next slide. Next up is my sister. She's not my blood sister, but she my sister, okay? And Mika, no, it's Mika, but I call her Amika. So it's Mika Joseph. It's up tomorrow with being at peace with being enough. So that's Thursday. That's tomorrow, facilitated by Mika Joseph. And y'all know that she be bringing the tea, okay? And she's going to be bringing the accountability and all the juice, okay? Oh, with her fabulous self. And join us for Speak, Move, Change 2025. Speak, Move, Change. And I'm trying to read it on this little screen. That's an immersive virtual series elevating Black maternal health. Okay, that's April. Is that April 25th or 26th?
It's 2 days.
Both
So we're going on the reproductive freedom train ride for an Afrofuturistic journey to liberation. It's going to be 2 days on Zoom. So that's Friday, April 25th from 6 to 9 p.m. And then we're going to do the second day, Saturday, from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. And we're going to be making some stops across the country for places that you can get support with reproductive health, knowledge. We're going to different clinics. We're going to farms. We're going to everywhere we could think of to help us with that reproductive justice and liberation journey that we're all going on. So join us, and I'll drop the information in the chat to register on Zoom.
Yeah, see, and it's on Saturday from 1 to 4, so you can still slide into the body party at 6, okay? And then it's National Postpartum Awareness Week for Black Indigenous people of color. Join the movement and register today, May 4th to May 10th, 2025. I'm assuming that you put in the links in the chat, or they for them to register for that?
Yes, I will.
Yes. These are things so important, taking care of our womb, taking care of ourselves, and spreading that awareness, to others. Y'all know that Shawnee is for everything that has to do with reproductive justice and awareness around all of it. I was going to try to even name some, but it's just like all of it. So, yes. And the Wu Nation welcomes all members. So thank you so much for being here. Once you come in, you're already a member, though. That's how we roll. You already in, you a member. Okay, so thank you so much. Yes, Chris, I'm looking forward to seeing you and being in the experience. All the new members, thank you so much for coming and for showing up. And we invite you to keep coming on back and invite somebody else into the space. And this is our schedule for Wake Up Everybody. We have the Zoom live workshops on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. wait, yeah, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday are our long days, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Well, I would say our 90-minute sessions. And Monday and Wednesday, 7 to 7:30, like today. But we didn't end at 7:30. Okay. But this is our network. Okay. So, and then the Zoom live workshops. You can stream them live on Facebook, and you can get Woo alerts also. And text Woo Nation to 74121. And next. Yeah, thank you. Stay in touch. Register at bit.ly/wake up movement via Facebook. You can go there to the private page, and there's a public page. You can be a member of both. One is Woo Community, one is Woo Nation. And then we have the Instagram that is going to be popping for this year. Like Shawnee said, it's going to be that is going to be like pumping life into the Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. And then YouTube is bit.ly/Woo on YouTube, and the email is info.wakeupseries@gmail.com.
All right. Thank you for walking through those, Yogisha. I'm going to go ahead and take down the slides so we can give you your much needed love shower. Thank you for an amazing session. This time I'll invite everybody to come off mute and show some love. What an educational moment. And I've learned a lot today. Thank you for taking the time. So let's everybody show her some love for today.
Thank you, beloved. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, my sister
Thank
Empress.
you.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Love
you, thank
you.
you. Love
Very,
you,
very
Woo fam.
informative.
One love, guys.
Thank
One
you.
love.
Love you. Love you. Love you.
So
Thank you,
informative.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a
Thank you.
blessed day.
Appreciate you all.
Wonderful.
Hi, Adam.
Hey,
Thank you,
how you
everybody.
doing?
Thank you. Y'all
Thank
are
you.
so welcome.
How you doing,
Y'all
Michelle?
so welcome.
Hey,
Thank you.
what's up,
Hey,
I
Adam?
love you.
Adam.
I love you, Yogisha. Keep doing your thing and keep spreading the awareness. It's well needed.
Yes, brother, I will. Thank you for being you and being here.
And let's keep moving forward. And let's continue to build.
Holla, holla.
That's
Let's
right.
keep moving forward. Leveling up.
That's
Thank
right.
you. I see my other sister. Thank you, sisters, for coming on in. Love y'all.
Ashe, Ashe. Ashe,
I
everyone.
got your email, Chris. He wasn't playing. He was like, y'all got my session. I got to see that email popped up. That's right. That's how you do it.
Have a blessed day. Wake up, community. Thank
You
you,
too,
sister.
and
Love
keep
you.
coming back.
Love
Yeah.
you. Thank
you,
you,
thank you.
everybody.
And keep being the light, Chris. Keep doing your thing, Chris.
Oh, thank you, thank
Yeah.
you. Same to you. Same to you. Blessings to everybody.
Yeah, I appreciate your consistency.
Yes.
Oh,
Woo
yeah.
family.